In this video I'll show you the abilities and the spells I've used the most in my playthrough on Tactician difficulty and that paid off tremendously. In my opinion, these are the best spells and abilities in the game, but I haven't tested everything, and I would love for people that have tested absolutely everything and that have more knowledge of this game than me to post in comments which other abilities work really well in this game that they would put at the top level. Point of these videos in the end is to help people, and more good information can only help further. Let's get started, you pig bastards. One of the characters that joins the party is Agrias, the Holy Knight. She's got an ability called Holy Sword, which is incredible, because this unlocks a couple more abilities, of which every single one is very useful. Holy Sword ability scales off of physical attack, so definitely equip something like bracers, or in the early game there's something like power gauntlets that can increase physical attack power. Anything that increases physical attack power is good, or you can actually buff her with someone else, but the point is to increase physical attack power. Another option is also to change her class and then equip Holy Sword in the second slot. Changing class to something like Knight that has increased physical attack power scaling to Holy Knight. Great thing about Holy Sword techniques is that they cannot miss. They won't do as much damage as some other things, but they can instantly KO with Northswain Strike, Inflict Doom, Inflict Silence, Stop, and Confusion. Out of these I've mostly used Northswain Strike because instant KO chance is an instant KO chance. When it hits, it's over. Judgment Bolt is great for hitting many opponents at once and maybe inflicting stop on one or two enemies. Stop is fantastic, so when it works like this and it does damage without actually needing to cast it with a mage, it's fantastic. Next one is Mustadio. Mustadio and his Machinist ability can be game changer in every fight. Leg shot, arm shot, seal evil, all fantastically useful abilities, with arm shot being in my opinion the best. Disabling enemies basically makes them useless. They can't do anything for a couple of turns, and that's the best thing you can possibly do to increase your chances of success. The specific thing about Machinist is that they can equip guns, and that gives them increased range with such thing as an aimed shot. So having the ability to disable enemies from far away is insanely useful. Hesitation spell from Mystic Arts doesn't have that type of range, but it can hit multiple enemies at once. There's also an ability to level up Orator as Mustadio to get the ability to equip guns and then switch to advanced classes like Thief or Ninja because they have higher speed scaling, and aimed shot ability scales with speed. So getting equip guns ability from Orator and switching to Thief or Ninja is the best combination for Mustadio and the aimed shot ability. Definitely equip anything also that increases speed from equipment. Piggybacking on the aimed shot and the disable ability, we can also use hesitation with Mystic Arts from Mystic. Doesn't cost much mana and it can affect many enemies at once. It can also affect the friendlies too, but that's the tactical element of Final Fantasy that we need to pay attention to at all times. Compared to aimed shot, obviously the benefits are that it can affect many enemies at once, and the downside is that it can affect the friendly units and that it has a shorter range. Still very useful ability. Next one is Orlando with his Swordplay ability. He comes with Excalibur Sword, which is OP as heck because of the permanent haste. His abilities are similar to Agrias and her Holy Sword, but he's got also something called Shadowblade. Shadowblade drains HP from the enemy and also damages the enemy. It's an incredible ability that makes the last part of the game much easier. Then we have Mettle ability from Ramza, specifically Focus and Tailwind. On regular characters, Focus can be used by equipping Fundaments and learning Focus from Squire. Why are these particular abilities so useful? Well, they can be used in combination to boost JP acquisition by a lot. Tailwind increases speed, so by casting Tailwind on a character, it means they are going to have more turns per combat. More turns, more times we can cast something like Focus, which gives us experience every time we do it. It's the fastest way that I know of to increase JP acquisition, and also how to level up fast. Great thing about Focus and Fundaments is that if you use it on a class like Monk, Focus can be spammed each turn to increase physical attack power, which leads to incredible offense. Basically, it creates OP characters that can kill enemies in one shot, but it needs to be a physical attack focused class or job. Next one is Chakra from Monk. Chakra is incredible because it not only restores HP but restores MP as well. So put Monk near some powerful caster like Black Mage or Summoner and just refill their mana points whenever they need that. Chakra also scales with increased physical attack power. That means Focus ability that we just talked about boosts Chakra too.
No time to waste.
Then we have the essential spell Haste and Hasteja, Hasteja, whatever the pronunciation is. Without these things, game is much tougher. Period. This makes things a lot easier. At the beginning of every fight, I usually put haste on everyone because it just helps so much to be able to have more turns per combat. Doesn't matter what the goal of the fight is. The goal can be just to boost JP acquisition and increase level fast with Focus and Tailwind strategy. Haste helps in that too, because we can act quicker. If we just want to finish the mission faster, haste helps. If we want to attack more times, haste helps. It helps with almost everything. Next one is the Drain ability from Beowulf. Now this is only available in chapter 4. Beowulf can be recruited at the beginning of chapter 4 by going to the Clockwork Town at the very south and then doing the side mission. Drain is especially good against Lucavi bosses, and only against Lucavi bosses from what I figured out. Sorry for a bit of a spoiler, but here is one of the fights against Lucavi bosses, and you can see the amount of damage that the simple Drain can do. Not only that, but we can heal fully from such a heavy damage Drain attack. It makes every late Lucavi boss much easier. Last but not least, items from Chemist. Late game on Tactician means tons of damage output from enemies. Lots of the fights, especially story fights, are going to put you on a back foot at the very beginning from the first and second turn, meaning someone's going to die. Of course, Raise and a Rise with Swift spell is always a good option, and it's a necessity to have such a character in the party. But items as a secondary slotted ability on couple of characters is a must. What happens if the healer goes down, which they will? Then someone needs to have items and Phoenix down to raise them back up. What happens if the healer or a crucial character that healer can't reach ends up with Stone or Toad or whatever else? Well, here's someone with items that can quickly remove that status effect. Equipping throw items is optional, but it's very useful to have that too. If there is nothing more important that needs to be slotted in the second to last slot, then definitely equip throw items too. It's gonna help tremendously, especially on tactician difficulty. Anyway, that would be all for this video. Hope this helps. Definitely share some of the other great abilities and spells in the game. By that I don't mean other slots, meaning auto potion, mana shield and things like that. Those are a bit different. In this video I just wanted to cover active abilities and spells, and maybe I'm gonna do another video depending on how this one does. That covers the rest of the slots. Anyway, thanks for watching.
I must concentrate.